What would you say is your favorite thing about animation?
How you can create other worlds and take other people on a journey to another world and distract themselves from whatever's going on in their life, but it can also inspire them.
What would you say is the hardest thing about being an animator?
Drawing and just making my drawings not awkward. If you could figure out the staging and the composition and getting the drawing to look right, then the other hardest thing would be getting the timing right. So that it looks like it's not just a bunch of weird drawings flipping on the screen, but actually a character that's
living drawings.
Naturally moving.
I'd say that's up there with the hardest thing for me as well. Also, deadlines.
Yeah, no one understands how long it takes to get it right. You could...
Including animators. Yep. Animation normally takes 3 times as long as you think it will. Yep.
It always takes 3 times longer than you think it will.
Yep, at least.
You might spend a whole bunch of time animating it and then come back to it and realize, well, this is the rough pass, and you've got to redo it, or you've got to keep polishing it and basically reanimating it over and over to really make it look good. But so that's also difficult to communicate to people, saying that, like, well, you had time to animate it, and you're just like, it's not ready.
Why do you think you are drawn to animation?
Typical artist answer. Ever since I was a baby, watching animation, just because my parents didn't know what else to do, so they just put in the VHS, and I would just keep watching. And I liked seeing all the shapes changing and all the colors transforming all over the screen.
At least back then, it was mostly 2D, hand-drawn animation. Every kid has experienced drawing pictures, so it excites you to know that those drawings that you make could one day move themselves. It seems somehow doable.
Yeah, like I had the stickers that you could put inside a book that would be like a running horse. So you put each frame on each corner of the book, and then you flip the book. And that taught me what a flip book animation is. And then also, I remember seeing the credits on all the animated movies and thinking, these are jobs that people spend their days making animation.
And then you start noticing certain animators appearing on the credits over and over, kind of pick up on their styles.
Yeah, with the different Looney Tunes.
So what's the appeal of 2D animation to you, specifically, over other art forms?
Besides looking easier to make it more unique than CG, and it's faster to get a unique look. You can more easily see the individual if it's a team project, who's doing what character. But most of all, I like how you can, I think, drawn expressions with lines are more potent because they're more minimal than CG that's covered in fancy fur.
All the textures sometimes hide the emotion of the expression.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just like real life, you can still have a powerful emotion in a fancy, hyper-real CG thing, but because in 2D everything is distilled down, the only thing you see is the emotion. So I think it's more powerful.
Distilled down to the essence of the emotion through the lines. That's what also makes it sometimes harder, because if you're working with less lines in 2D, so if something is out of place, then you can express an emotion you might not mean to. Like if one eyebrow is raised a little too high, it might look like the character is curious instead of angry, depending on what you're trying to show.
Or the benefit of that is, like with CG, you really can't like have somebody's eyeball float out of their skull. But with 2D, you might have their eye go, whoa!
Yeah, and it wouldn't look terrifying.
No.
Like it would in CG.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I loved all those answers. Heard it out of a real-life animator's mouth. And thank you.
You're welcome.